Murray McInerney from Croaky here, and I'm talking to Susan Forrester. We're in the Yarning Circle. Sorry, Susan's from VACCHO. We're in the Yarning Circle at the World Indigenous Cancer Conference, the inaugural one. And you're telling me that there's been a pretty special session here today, but that VACCHO actually has a little bit of a link with this. Can you whiz me through the
Yeah. Oh, look, I'm very excited. The connection that we have is that we've informally supported the staff here, Brian and other staff here, to create this amazing yarning circle within the World Indigenous Cancer Conference.
Give everybody a look at it.
Amazing.
It is amazing. It's empty now because we're at the end of the day.
Yeah, we're at the end of the day, but this place has been full all day. One of the things I wanted to say was that we need to give a big nod and a big shout out to IGWA. So the International First Peoples, the term IGWA is International Indigenous Peoples Working Group on HIV/AIDS. So the idea of a First Peoples space came from a community protest in 2006. Hope I've got this right, IGWA. At the International AIDS Conference. So what people were finding, community people were finding, was that there wasn't really a place for them to have a voice. You know, as we know with conferences, we need all the things. We need the data, we need the clinical side of things, we need the academic side of things. But pushing for a place for community was really important. So that group formed, and it was First Peoples from all over the world, and created the First Peoples Networking Zone or Networking Space at the International AIDS Conferences. So it's been going around the world, and I think if you remember in 2014 the AIDS Conference came to Melbourne in Australia, and VACCHO was invited to work with IGWA to create that First Peoples space at AIDS 2014. So I was more than lucky enough to get a gig on this, and worked with VACCHO, the Victorian Aboriginal Peak Body for Health, with a sexual health team, to set up an amazing space, to ground it in local culture, and also have it as a safe space for First Peoples from all around the world, and everyone else, but primarily a safe space. Particularly, as you know, with conferences, you're looking around here today, you'll see there are amazing elders from all over the world. So the idea was that the space is grounded in local culture, but that First Peoples work together to create that space. So AIDS 2014 went off. It was amazing. A lot of people, one of the things that I found was really good, that was a lot of people were saying, I want to be here. This is where the real business is done. You know, this is where we connect and share our stories of the work that we do at the, on the ground and at the forefront of all the health issues and the social determinants. So
you said that's been happening here too, and you just
I'm really excited.
Give us an example.
Okay, so the World Cancer Conference initiated a First Peoples space with the Department of Health and VACCHO in Victoria. Brian, who's over there, got wind of it. I think he came to the conference. The amazing Brian in the orange shirt. And then we worked with Brian behind the scenes to create a yarning space. Now this is an Indigenous conference, so what was more appropriate is actually a yarning circle. And again, without naming names or anything like that, I came into the circle. It was full of incredible aunties and other elders here. There was somebody came from a large organisation, large body, with some great health promotion resources and some great ideas to help to, that are targeted at Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people and other First People, to bring up, or the word called people, to bring up screening. It was welcomed, and then a question came up. And it was a beautiful question. It was a very important question. And I think a question that wouldn't have come up inside the conference. Do you have anyone who's Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islander working with you? And the answer was no. And then this flood of support came, and flood of information came to this young person that if you walk beside us, if you have Aboriginal people working with you, we'll all, be able to close the gap together. If you need support because you're a promotion officer and you need support higher up within your organisation, we our elders will support you. I was jumping up and down on my seat. This is the kind of business that happens in a yarning circle. This is about culture. This is about cultural ways. And as we know, it's all done in the talk, And so I'm very very happy person. It's only the first day of the conference, so I'll probably collapse in a heap by tomorrow morning.
That's fantastic. Now, you hinted, though, that you have an interesting story yourself of coming to work. And can you tell me what your role is at VACCHO?
Yes, yeah. I'm the statewide cancer and cardiovascular disease project officer. So I work with our members, which are Aboriginal community-controlled health organisations, and we'll work out priorities around cancer and I will support the workers who do the hard work to get everything that we need done, and also work with our partners and stakeholders and advocate for things to be done the best way possible. The interesting thing that I was telling you is that my background is in event management and major festival management. So I started as a stage manager at the Big Day Out in Melbourne, and I ended up being the general manager of the Melbourne Festival. And I used to work in a church next door to VACCHO. I used to have, met the guys there and had fun, stirred each other up. Next minute, I'm working at VACCHO. So,
really?
And I'm very, very happy to share some of the skills and gain a whole lot more.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, it's been absolutely lovely talking to you.
Yeah, thank you.
Also watching you photobomb Kerry Arabino all day long. So that's very good. Do you want to give a little bit of a heads up about what she's trying to do out there in Twitterland?
Yeah, she's the thing. Well, I'm trying to photobomb the person who's trying to photobomb the health world.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Cool.